Hold on, patriots. Donald Trump just shook up the global stage with a bold lunch at the White House, hosting leaders from Liberia, Senegal, Gabon, Mauritania, and Guinea-Bissau. The game plan? Pure business, no handouts. While globalists whine, Trump's pushing deals to strengthen America and counter China in Africa. But there's heat, tempers flared, and critics are fuming. This is raw geopolitics. Stick around, because this is just the start. President Donald Trump hosted a high-stakes multilateral lunch in the White House's state dining room, welcoming leaders from 5 West African nations. Liberia's President Joseph Boakai, Senegal's Bassirou Diomaye Faye, Gabon's Brice Oligui Nguema, Mauritania's Mohamed Ould Ghazouani, and Guinea-Bissau's Umaro Sissoko Embalo. This wasn't just a diplomatic photo op, it was a power move. Trump's goal was clear: prioritize trade and investment over charity, reshaping how America deals with Africa. This is no feel-good summit. It's about dollars, deals, and dominance. For Trump's administration, this lunch is a win because it screams pragmatism. Instead of following the globalist playbook of endless aid, Trump zeroed in on business deals that put America first. Liberia pitched its mineral wealth, Senegal floated a golf course to lure American tourists, and Gabon flexed its oil reserves. With his businessman's nose, Trump knows Africa's 1.4 billion strong market and resources like cobalt, lithium, and rare earths are gold mines for tech and energy industries. By focusing on trade, he's selling himself as a tough negotiator who doesn't squander taxpayer money, a message that hits home with his base, fed up with Washington's overseas spending sprees. Hosting these leaders also shows Trump isn't ignoring Africa. He's just doing it his way, without the progressive speeches or UN agendas. For everyday Americans, this approach could bring real benefits down the line. First, it opens doors for US companies to tap African markets. If deals go through, industries like construction, energy, and tech could score contracts, creating jobs back home. Picture American engineers, workers, and truckers employed because of infrastructure projects in Liberia or oil deals with Gabon. Second, by slashing foreign aid, Trump's freeing up millions in taxpayer dollars. In 2024, the US sent over $10 billion in aid to Africa, but Trump's team has already cut that by 30%. The White House says those savings will go to domestic priorities like roads, healthcare, and security. Finally, this strategy boosts national security. China's poured $300 billion into Africa over the past decade, locking up resources. By muscling in, the US secures access to critical materials without relying on a geopolitical rival. The impact on America is twofold. Trump supporters love this anti-globalist stance that puts the US first. Conservatives see it as proof their president isn't bowing to international agendas, but the backlash is fierce. Progressives and groups like Oxfam are livid, warning that aid cuts could leave millions of Africans without vital support, potentially tarnishing America's image abroad. Trump's not sweating it, betting that long-term economic gains will outweigh short-term criticism. Geopolitically, this lunch is a slap in China's face and a wake-up call to Europe. Beijing's been dominating Africa, building roads, ports, and hospitals in exchange for resource access. Trump's pushing US trade deals to counter that, but without China's predatory debt traps. Countries like Liberia and Guinea-Bissau, saddled with Chinese loans, might see America as a better partner. The lunch also had a surprise twist. Reports say Mauritania discussed normalizing ties with Israel alongside a meeting with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. This aligns with Trump's push for the Abraham Accords, boosting US influence in the Middle East and Africa, while sidelining rivals like China and Russia, who lack the same diplomatic clout. Still, Trump's approach could strain ties with European allies, who favor humanitarian aid and cringe at his confrontational style. But the lunch wasn't all smooth sailing. It sparked plenty of controversy. Sources say Trump cut off the African leaders multiple times, urging them to get to the point, showing visible impatience. On X, users blasted this as disrespectful, with posts like, "Trump's treating Africa like a second-rate business deal." Progressive groups slammed the aid cuts, arguing they'll gut critical health and education programs that rely on US funds. Some African leaders, like Senegal's young reformist Faye, likely expected a warmer reception, but got Trump in full-on dealmaker mode, not diplomat. There's also chatter that Trump's more interested in Africa's resources than its people, fueling accusations of American neocolonialism. One X post with thousands of likes summed it up. Trump wants Africa's lithium, not its problems. These controversies could trip up future talks if African leaders feel disrespected. Despite the noise, this lunch marks a turning point. Trump's sending a loud message. America's not the world's ATM, but it's open for business. This fits his hard-right, sovereignty-first vision, rejecting globalist progressivism. While mainstream media gripe about his lack of empathy, Trump's base cheers a president who prioritizes Americans. The big question is whether this gamble pays off, or if diplomatic missteps and domestic backlash derail it. Either way, Trump's playing chess, while his critics are stuck whining about the board. Patriots, this is huge. Trump's rewriting the rules with Africa, but is it a masterstroke or a risky play? Will trade-first deals make America stronger or push allies away? What do you think of the backlash over his attitude? Drop your take in the comments, share your thoughts, and join the fight. This story's not just Trump's, it's yours. Speak up, spread the word, and let's get real about this geopolitical shakeup. Act now.